So I've been thinking a lot about pens and pencils. Wait, one second. So I've been thinking a lot about pens and pencils. And don't ask me why. This has lately just been a lot of things on my mind, and one of them was just pens and pencils and how the heck they ever came to be. Because if someone came up to me with a big red button and said, Jake, press this and tell me a big old story about pens and pencils, the first thing that came to my mind is, why the heck does this guy have a big red button telling me to say a story about pens and pencils? And the second thing that would come to mind is my story of pens and pencils and how it was like a trade cartel back when I was in 4th, 5th, 6th grade. Everyone had pens and pencils for trade, and it was like the weirdest experience ever as a kid, but it was also memorable and super awesome. So let me just let me show you an example of how popular I guess pens and pencils still are. Right behind my camera here, you can now just buy them in bulk. I'm in college, as a few of you know. Bulk mechanical pencils, bulk blue and black pens. There you go, you got what you need. I think there's like 50, yeah, there's 50 count in each of these. 50 pens and pencils. Back in the day of middle school, these were gold. So I don't know if it's just my school that went into this weird trade mode where you could bring any trinket into school and you try and like hide it under your desk or hide it inside your desk, and then during recess you'd go and trade these kind of things with your fellow students. I don't know if that was just me and I was weird about that, but I felt like it was really popular in my school. And also, is it just me, or do you guys still remember some of your old middle school, grade school, elementary school teachers' names? Because I still remember like all of them, and I find it super creepy that right now they're all probably 30, 40, 50 years old, having kids of their own that are like, oh my. So anyway, I don't want to get off topic, I want to get back into the story. There was my grade school where people traded everything from day to day. And I'm not talking about your typical commercial stuff where, Billy, if you give me your lunchbox, your pudding, I'll give you my turkey sandwich. I'm not talking about that kind of trade. I'm talking about, give me your mechanical pencil, I'll give you an eraser and a bouncy ball. That kind of trading. It happened every day. There were trends. It was almost like our grade school had come down to this smaller market economy, and we had all these different trades and all these different people to go to, and it was honestly insane to think about, but also super cool. For example, I have a pen here. It's a nicer pen than usual, not the kind you buy in bulk, a kind you buy in like packs of 3. This pen right here would be worth something back in grade school. I could go up to Tiffany and say, yo Tiffany, I want a long eraser, I want a piece of gum, and I want a bouncy ball for this pen. Tiffany accepts the trade, I take it, and then you can start manipulating the prices, and you could ask different things from different people. And at one point we had this this whole economy going where I had so many pens and so many people coming to me that I didn't even know what was going on. I mean, I just thought these girls were liking me, but turns out they only liked me for my pens and my pencils and my things and my things. Buy you some rings, I'm gonna buy you some bling, and then stop. So why I'm talking about this is because I wanted to mention one specific moment that my dad does not actually know about. My dad does not know about my YouTube channel either, but I wanted to tell a story about this special pen. It was actually a very special pen to me, but as a 5th grader, I couldn't fathom what it was actually worth. So my dad worked for the same company for a long time. He is one of few men that are very lucky to only work 2 or 3 jobs, or for 2 or 3 different companies. So he had this pen from his company, and excuse me, a train's going by, I hope you guys can't hear that. So he had this pen from this company. He'd been working there for 10 years or so, and they gave him a memorable pen. You know, nowadays they give people who work for corporations like watches, trinkets, ties, things like that. Back in the day, it was this really nice pen, solid silver, like a really flashy looking pen. I wish I had a picture of it or the type of pen it was, but it was super nice. It didn't write too well, but the point was, this is a memorable pen, and for some odd reason, I mean, obviously it wasn't worth too much to my dad. He gave it to me to write with at school. Well, there was this girl named Hannah, and I had a crush on Hannah back in the day. And so I thought to myself, I could probably get Hannah to like me if I give her this memorable pen in a trade that's in her favor, right? Because if I do that, then she'll think, oh, Jake's what a nice guy, yeah? Maybe I'll like him. So me being the idiot I am, I come to school one day with this flashy pen, and I have 10 students at the counter. It's recess break, we're staying inside, and I can't really explain it. It's like the locker bay where we had this countertop. I was on one side, I was the clerk, and I had students lined up looking at this pen because it was a flashy motherfricka. It was like the god of all pens back in the day. And I see Hannah. Hannah's in the crowd, and I start offering a bid up. I'm like, you know what? Offer your bids, boys and girls, and this pen is going to be sold today. And I started like doing that little stupid hammer thing like I knew what I was doing. And it turns out that Hannah was one of the bidders. And early on, I was like, you know what? No matter what she offers, I'm going to take her offer because this pen is worth that girl. Anyway, long story short, I give the pen away. I regret it every single day ever since. The pen is eventually lost. I have no idea where it is. I don't talk to this Hannah girl anymore. I don't even know where she is right now. But it's just so funny to me how the evolution of pens and pencils have come to be, because I've just noticed that it's kind of crazy, but people still use real pencils. isn't that weird to think? People actually still sharpen and hand sharpen their pencils in the machines. When I have not used a real pencil in so long, I have mechanical pencils every single day of my life, and it's kind of crazy as well because I use these mechanical pencils and I go through them. I don't even think I use the lead that comes with the pencil. If you guys know, you go to Walmart, Target, wherever you go to your superstore to get your pencils, the mechanical pencils each come with like 2 pieces of lead. They're about this long. I can't remember the last time where I've actually used a pencil and had it still in my possession by the time I ran out of lead. I lose these pencils like flies lose their, I don't even know what flies lose these days, but it's crazy because it's just like chapstick. When's the last time that you used a whole tube of chapstick without losing it? Probably a long time, right? It's the same thing with me and pencils, I swear. I can never use a pen till it's out of ink, I never have, and I can never use a mechanical pencil till it runs out of lead. And back in the grade school days, you had that 1 or that 2 favorite mechanical pencils of yours, and those mechanical pencils were so rare back in the day. I mean, you maybe saw 1 or 2 of them, and then eventually they came on and more people had them. But even back then, there were kids like me, we would actually go to the store and buy refill canisters of lead to use in the same exact pencil, because mechanical pencils back in the day, they weren't this fancy thing that you could buy 50 of. Again, you had less than 5 of them, and I remember buying containers of 0.7 or 0.5 lead to refill that one pencil. It's just so weird that I actually kept an item back then, and nowadays they're so, they're just things you can throw out of the bag. You can throw away if you wanted to, because they're not worth anything near physical value or the mental value that you had back in the day. Anyway, that's all I gotta tell you guys. If you guys have a similar story like this, did you experience things like this in grade school? Was it just my school that had like an economy of their own? Was it only my grade school that traded like bouncy balls, erasers, mechanical pencils, pens? Or did you guys have similar things too that you remember? Leave a comment down below. If you guys like these kind of rant videos, I love doing them. They've actually been really fun for me to do. Hope you all enjoy another 25 days of Christmas. I'll see you all next time. Live, love, laugh a lot. Remember, I like you. Goodbye.